Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gebo the Shaman, and today we're talking about what happens when we have Venus placed in the sign of Pisces in the 6th house. So, Venus in Pisces in the 6th house. And why is this so important? Because this is... Now we're talking about Vedic astrology. In Vedic astrology, if you have 6th house in Pisces, Pisces in the 6th house, you'll have a Libra ascendant. The Libra ascendant is also called your Lagnesh, or your Lagna, and the lord of that Lagna is called the Lagnesh, which is Venus. So Venus, we call this the Lagnesh being placed in the sign of Pisces in the 6th house. That means Venus in Pisces in the 6th. So basically what you will have with this placement is, like, Venus is very much connected to the way that you see the world. This is the lord of your Lagna. This is the planet that is kind of guiding your experience in this world. And so, yeah, it's like, Venus is very important because it rules your Lagna. It rules your 1st house. And in Vedic astrology, we use the 1st house, or the ascendant, or the rising sign, or the Lagna, all of the, different terms for the same thing. We use that as your zodiac sign. So you are not your sun sign, you are not your moon sign. The ascendant or rising sign is the sign that we use primarily. The second most important sign is your moon sign. So that's second most important. Because 1st house represents your physical body and what how you think and things like that. And then the moon sign is physical body is like your psychological makeup, your physical body, your physical attributes, the way that the soul wants to experience the universe, or this world, their life. So, and then the moon sign is, of course, how we think, how we process things, and things like that. So that's also very important. So today we're talking about Venus in Pisces in the 6th house for Libra ascendant. So if you're using your Western chart, can't recommend throwing that in the trash enough. Because not only is Western astrology wrong and inaccurate, it's 24 degrees off from the actual placements of the planets. It is also, using the sun sign, it's not that great. It's not, it's not accurate. So, anyway. Alright, so Venus in Pisces in the 6th house. So, we'll begin with the 6th house. What is the 6th house? The 6th house of your zodiacs, of your birth chart, is 6th house is responsible for enemies, enemies and health issues, your dietary issues, fitness, health and fitness, and things like that. So, yeah, it's all about, the things that could go wrong with you. And it's also about your pets, so cats and dogs and other small animals, but whether they be tamed, like domesticated, or wild, so like even lizards, snakes, rats, rabbits, things like that, all 6th house. So 6th house is the house of enemies. It's the house of your health and your fitness. It's the house of your daily work routines, daily habits, things like that. And then we have Pisces here. So Pisces is about spirituality. It is altruistic, it is spiritual, it is basically not concerned with the things of the world. It's just concerned with actually getting to achieve moksha, achieve enlightenment, achieve union with the divine. Very spiritual, very altruistic, very, just very, very good placement here. And then we have Venus here. And Venus is love, sex, romance, fun, happiness, art, beauty, creativity, relationships, marriage. This is the karka of marriage for both males and females. It represents marriage, but for females, of course, you're going to look at where Jupiter is placed, and for males, your Venus placement. So Venus is all about, giving us the material desires that we seek. The nice house, the luxury brand of car, and handbags, purses, material things. It's like, and it represents love. So it represents like really love, like when you love someone, you want them to have the best of everything, right? You want them to have the best life possible, and that's what Venus is seeking to do for us, is give us the best life possible, help us enjoy and appreciate the material world. And so that's a little bit about each of those placements. Now we'll go ahead and combine them. So we have the house of service, we have the sign of spirituality, and we have the planet of love. Combine those things, and what do we get? We get someone who wants to love everyone altruistically. And this could be a social worker, someone who wants to help kids, help, provide service, help uplift people, be like a counselor, maybe a counselor, a therapist, someone who really nurtures and loves everybody. A nun can be seen with this placement, actually. Because Venus in Pisces is basically, I want to love everybody. I want my, these are people who believe that they can help a lot of people. So they believe that their love is capable of reaching out to everyone and loving everyone. So it's very, very good stuff. So we have Venus here in the 6th house. So Venus in the 6th is about helping the underprivileged, the less fortunate. You could really see an animal activist from this perspective. That one lady that comes on the commercials, Sarah McLachlan, I think. It's really having a heart and pulling on people's heartstrings for pets, for, animals that are hurting and animals that have been abused and things like that. It's like shit that really stuff that really can emotionally be pretty hard to look at, but and pull the heartstrings of people. So yeah, this is very much an activist person, someone who wants to be involved in society, involved in making changes, and really it's less so that would be more Aquarius, like getting society on the right track. But this one would just be like, I have such a heart for people, such a heart for animals and things like this, that I am just going to do whatever I can to help everybody in the world. And Venus in Pisces is exalted. Because why? This is the highest form of love. This is the highest, most altruistic, purest form of Venus. Purest form of love. Is this this altruistic spiritual love for everybody. And so yeah, it's pretty intense. And so the other thing with this placement is you would have a very high standard of partner. So for example, if you met a guy or a girl or whatever your preference is, and they met like 85 to 90% of your criteria, you would be like, well, this isn't everything that I want. This is not the altruistic, like, perfection that I want, that I'm seeking in love. So I can't be with this person. Even though like 90% of your stuff is met, like your expectation and wants are met, but you just have that high standard. So the advice here is just, accept what you aren't getting. Like, if you're getting like 90%, that's still very good. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be able to meet your 100% of your needs revolving around love and things like that. And it takes, it takes working together. It takes, if you really want a relationship, it takes sacrifice. It takes, what is that word? Just like finding a compromise. That's it. Compromise and sacrifice and things like that. So, so yeah, it's all about compromise and sacrifice in relationships. And so with this kind of placement, someone would be very, very much like, I don't want to say like demanding, but like you have a very high standard for what you're expecting in a partner. And most people aren't going to meet that expectation or that standard. So if you want a relationship, an actual relationship, and recently we had this I forget where it was, but someone was complaining that, or like basically crying and stuff, that she basically blew everyone off, all of her suitors, when she was in her 20s and early 30s, and now that she's too old to have kids, she's crying because she doesn't have a family. Well, that's because you basically blew every chance that you had to have a family. So it's about compromise. It's about, working together to find, to work it out, basically. So, anyway, but yeah, so, Venus in Pisces in the 6th house. So there's this, that altruistic kind of thing with wanting to save animals and wanting to help, like be a social worker, or, help children, or do, whatever. So that's all really great. But then on the personal level, the relationship problems that can occur is, having too high of standards. So for a man with this placement, you'll probably meet your wife either in like a spiritual place, or a work environment, like doing basically charity work is what I would say you'll meet your wife doing. So and then we have, for women, of course, look at where your Jupiter is placed as well, because that'll give you more information on this. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. So if you are interested in anything that I have to offer, you can go to gebotheshaman.com. I do have my astrology readings as well as astrology certification course. The readings are basically, let's talk about the course. So the astrology certification course is basically a self-paced video course, and at the end of that course, I'll give you basically a certification exam. And once you pass the test, then I will give you your own website so you can start doing Vedic astrology readings. So yeah, that'll be good. And basically, I mean, I really couldn't make it any easier for you guys to actually learn how I do my readings, because I have not only my video course, but I have videos teaching it, but I have also like PDFs. So if you're totally concerned with like how do I actually do this, the steps, I have it laid out in plain English, and you just follow the steps and you do the reading, and that's it. So it's very simple. So when you purchase that and you get your website, I will promote you on the channel, so you can actually be promoted and have start getting clients and stuff, because my channel is growing. So this is a good opportunity to get started with it. Alright, so then we have the astrology consultations. So I have my standard birth chart reading as well as career readings and relationship readings, basically reading your D9 and D10 charts. And then we have the birth time rectification. So birth time rectification is a great way to figure out your exact time of birth. A lot of times clients will give me like a 2 or 3 hour window, and that's very helpful. But even if you don't have that, just know that I can do it. It's just going to take me a longer amount of time to do it. All right, and then we have so we have the rune readings. So one of the other things that I do offer in addition to astrology readings is a rune reading, and that just takes into account your immediate present and your immediate future, like what's going to happen to you very soon, what the energetic properties are, or what the energies of the universe are telling us in regards to what's going on with your current situation and what's soon to come. So, I do 9 world rune readings, and they encompass basically what's going on with you currently, what's soon to come, what you're manifesting, your hopes and dreams and wishes, your identity, what's going on with your identity and identity issues, the actions that you take, the actions that you should be taking or are taking or need to be taking, and then what you're totally unaware of, your unconscious mind, and then also your relationships with others, like what's going on with them and things like that. So then we have the what the Ascended Masters are trying to tell you. That's another thing that I cover in my 9 world rune reading. So, let's see here. So we have, then we have career coaching and life coaching. So if you are not sure what to do with your life, a lot of people don't know what exactly to do with their life. They're just kind of, floating on by, waiting for something to happen, and nothing's happening for them. Well, I have been there, and I gotta tell you, the only thing that happens is when you take action. So, it's all about finding out what your career, your ideal career is for you, and having the strength and courage to go after that no matter what. Not telling you to quit your day job, but, it's like transferring over to more of what you would want to be doing with your life is extremely powerful and extremely important, because a lot of people think that they have a belief or a assumption that they have to work a shitty job and the universe isn't going to take care of them and things like that. And that's totally false. You can do whatever you want to do. The universe has to support you in living your dreams. So go after them and see what happens. Trust in the universe. Alright, so I have the career coaching and life coaching for that stuff to help you guide you on your journey there. Then we have the trauma healing course. So the trauma healing course is basically also called the emotional awareness course. It really does help you heal your emotions, because by becoming aware of them, then you allow them to come up, and it's like so many of us have been suppressing our emotions for most of our lives that when they do come up, it's pressurized. It's pressurized, and it's, instead of just allowing them to flow like a stream, to just flow like a stream, because that's what emotions want to do, just naturally flow like a stream. And instead of doing that, we say, no, you cannot have those emotions, and we cover them up, and we push them down, and we block them, and whatever. And so now when we try to actually have them and let them come up, they're going to come up like a fire hose. They're going to come out very pressurized, it'll be, very overwhelming and things like that. So that's what happens when you block your emotions. Ask me how I know. I've been through a lot of rough stuff, so the emotional awareness course is kind of there to guide you through your emotions and things like that, so I'd highly recommend checking that out. And then we have the distance energy healing. So distance energy healing is basically it's a session with me. And it's like a 1 hour session with me. Sorry, I disassociated there. So the distance energy healing is basically a 1 hour session, and we, a lot of people think that that's for, people who have some physical illness, something that's going on with them physically, and that is true. It is for those people, but it's also for anyone who is having any emotional stuff, psychological things that are going on with them, physical. So, physical, psychological, or emotional. And really what it's doing is it's bringing up those unconscious blocks, those emotional blocks that prevent you from having emotions. It just kind of releases any emotions that are stuck, and it allows you to process through those and have those. So it's very, very good, very calming, very relaxing, and it just, you learn to flow with your emotions. So anyway, guys, I think that's about it for me for today. So if you're interested in anything that I have to offer, then you can go to GeboTheShaman.com, and we have a bunch of things on sale there and things like that. So also, if you like this video, then you can go ahead and give it a like and a thumbs up, and subscribe and all that good stuff. So alright, guys, so that's about it for me for today. So we will talk to you next time. Peace.